Hi, I'm Danny. Today I'm going to be attempting to make spinach and ricotta ravioli. I've never made pasta from scratch before, but I think it can't be that hard, right? If you're interested in making it with me or just watching me make it, then keep watching. So I've tied my hair back because that's number one. You don't want to get hairs in your ravioli. And then I have all the ingredients here pre-portioned out. So we've got 3 eggs, 2 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and 1 teaspoon of salt. The first thing I'm going to do is crack all 3 eggs into my stand mixer. Use the whisk attachment to beat them. So the eggs have been beaten together. Wow, you can't see them. Just believe me, they've been beaten together. And then the next thing we need to do is add all the rest of the ingredients and mix them together with our hands until we have a shaggy dough. So we're gonna get in here. So fun. So basically I'm just massaging the egg into the flour. In my opinion, a shaggy dough just means all the flour has absorbed the liquid, so there's no loose flour on the bottom anymore. Now my hands are covered in egg. So we look like this right now. That looks like a shaggy dough to me. Dough hook. So while that's going, I'm gonna wash my hands. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes and I think she's struggling. That doesn't look right. So I'm gonna add a tablespoon of water and let it go for a bit more, and hopefully that solves our problem. As you can see, my stand mixer isn't really working. The dough it's pretty brittle. It's tearing when I pull it. It's supposed to be elastic. A lot of the comments say that you can hand knead it to make it a little bit better, so let's hope that works. So after I hand kneaded it for a while, it turned out great. So she's wrapped up now, and I'm just gonna put it in the fridge to rest because I'm gonna leave it for a little bit longer than the half an hour that it says, and since there's eggs in it, I don't really want it to do anything weird. So in order to make the filling for our ravioli, we need spinach, ricotta, salt, pepper, parmesan, lemon zest, and olive oil. And the first step is to cook down the spinach until it's wilted. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So we're just gonna turn the stove on to like a medium heat. We've got our huge pan. We need about a tablespoon of olive oil. That's pretty good. And then we're gonna let that heat up for a second. Once the olive oil is heated, you just add the spinach. So let's just get that guy in there. It looks like a lot. It gets really small. Basically, you just let the spinach cook on the stove for about 5 minutes until it's wilted, and you'll know when it's wilted, but I'll also show you in a second. It's pretty much wilted at this point, and I might just leave it for another minute just to cook a little bit more of the water up. So here's half a cup of parmesan. I grated it. So here's my bowl. Had to rearrange a little bit. We had some accidents. So 3/4 of a cup. So here's the ricotta. So we're gonna 1, 2, 3. So those are the cheeses sorted, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon zest because I think it'll be delicious.
I like the lemon flavor in it.
Me too. That's it, just that much. 1/4 teaspoon salt. We're just gonna wing it a little bit. A couple cracks of pepper. Just gonna go check on the spinach. My spinach is ready. And the recipe says to press it through a sieve to dry. So let's see if any liquid even comes out. Okay. I'm just gonna squeeze that until no more comes out. And then it says to press it in a clean tea towel. So I'm just gonna turn this out and then squeeze the rest of the water. If you remember how much spinach was in that bag, this is all that we have left. So we're just gonna chop it up fine and then add it to our cheese and pepper and lemon zest mix. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the spinach to the bowl. We have the ricotta, the parmesan, the lemon zest, salt, pepper, and the chopped spinach. And then we're just gonna mix that together really well. Once we've combined this, we are going to set it aside and then roll out the dough that we made earlier. We've got our ravioli dough. The internet says to make sure to keep it covered when you're not using it so it doesn't dry out. So I'm gonna cut it in half. We might do a quarter. We're gonna start with just a quarter and then wrap the rest of this back up in the plastic wrap so it doesn't dry out. I've got a little bit of flour here. And I don't have a pasta machine, so this is where things are gonna get interesting. We're gonna just use a little bit of elbow grease here. Do you guys like how I started this by saying I've never made pasta? Now I'm talking like I know what I'm doing. So the Bon Appetit website said, when you can see your hand pass behind it, like the shadow of your hand, it's thin enough. So we're not there yet, so let's keep going. So once you've rolled your ravioli sheet thin enough, you want to start spooning about 2 teaspoons of the mixture on the ravioli bottom. After that, you're going to brush an egg wash, which is just 1 egg mixed with some water, on the entire bottom of the ravioli and a little bit on top of the filling. After that, you're going to take the other half of the ravioli sheet that you made before and you're going to put it on top, and then make sure you squeeze all the air out from around the filling, and that's just so they won't break open while you're cooking them. This is pretty straightforward. You just want to cut the ravioli, leaving enough edge so you can squeeze it down with a fork. I'm just squeezing along the edges here to make sure it's all nice and tucked into bed. Great. This has been a journey. It's been a long time since I started making that pasta. And so here's our little pasta guys. Look how cute they are. We got 20 pastas, so they're pretty big sized. For 4 people, that'll be perfect. Right now, I'm just bringing this giant pot of water to a boil with a lot of salt. So let's let that boil and then come back to it. So now we're gonna make a sauce. We start with olive oil. And this, oh, that was a lot of olive oil. I think it's fine. It says 6 tablespoons. That is not a lot. That's fine. And then garlic. We've got our garlic cloves right here. So we're just gonna add them right in there. It says 2. I'm gonna do 3 because I like garlic. We let that toast for a minute. And so while this is toasting, we add our ravioli to the pot. We're gonna put the raviolis in for, I don't know, until they float to the top. While the ravioli is cooking, we're gonna finish the sauce. So we're just gonna add the butter. So that's the butter just melting into there. All right, so now we've taken the heat off of the olive oil, the butter, and the garlic. And we're just gonna add the lemon and the Parmesan cheese. And we're just gonna mix it around a bit so it all melts in together. And then we're gonna add the ravioli. Raviolis are done, so we're just gonna pour them into the sink. Great. So I added the ravioli, and all we've gotta do is stir it around to coat all the ravioli. I'm just gonna add a few chili flakes, because I like chili flakes. And then we're gonna plate it. And here's the finished result. Looks delicious. Super excited to eat it. It ended up being about 5 pieces of ravioli per person, so I think that's perfect. And that was that. It was pretty easy, and we just finished eating it, and it was delicious. Thanks for watching.